Memento Mori. Remember, you will die. This video is a celebration, but this video is also a tragedy. It's more of a tragedy than a celebration, if I'm being absolutely honest, but somebody that's very wise told me once that you have two options in this life, okay? You can lay down and cry, or you can stand up and dust yourself off and keep going. Okay, so it's up to you. You decide what to do. Remember, you will die. And just because it's a video, don't brush it off or don't think it's like, whatever, it's another. No, we forget that our time in this earth is very, very limited. This is a reminder to everybody that cares enough to watch me, to my family members or to my co-workers or my friends. Remember, you will die. Remember you will die means remember that today is one of the very narrow specks of time that you will exist as you are right now. Don't take that for granted. Now, for us to continue, I want to disclose my position regarding this death matter, okay? I was born in Colombia and I was brought up in a very Catholic family by a very Catholic mother. So I am a Catholic. When I was 12, I dove a little bit too deep into the topic of the existence of God, and that led me into a big rabbit hole that made me come out on the other side with the heavy realization that there might not be a God after all. We might be alone. And this realization made me very depressed for many years, because I came to the conclusion that when you die, that's it. There's nothing else after that. This is all we have. And that kept me up at night thinking, fuck, like I'm alive right now, I'm living, I'm in the moment. But moments are going to stop, and then what? And for your brain to process all of that information, it's it's heavy, it's almost impossible, it's a heavy weight. You don't know when, you don't know how it's going to happen. It makes you panicky. You will die. This is it, there's nothing else. And at least when I believed in God, you think I'm going to die, but then when I die, I'm going to go to the other side. I'm going to go to heaven, or I'm going to go to hell, or I'm going to go to purgatory. And it's going to be a changing of existences. But when you're an atheist, when you don't believe in the afterlife, then when you die, it's not even lights off. It's the end of existence. I am a Catholic atheist, because even though I'm an atheist, I was brought up Catholic, and I still hold dear all of the stories and the traditions, the iconography, the art, the meaning that Catholicism and Christianity and in general the Abrahamic religions have to offer, and I embrace them. They are part of me, they are part of who I am in a deep way, in a fundamental level. And I encourage other atheists like myself to also embrace their tradition, because it's worth being embedded in an ancient wisdom of the people that came before us. It's also a magical experience to be able to feel a religious experience, even if you don't believe rationally in angels or demons. That doesn't need to stop you from engaging with the most beautiful, transcendent rituals of the culture that you might be currently rejecting. No matter the religion, change the system from within. Okay, that parenthesis aside, this is my bias, okay? This is where I'm coming to this topic from. So remember you will die is a celebration of the life that you have today, and it's also a cautionary statement. How you live your life today, it's how you live your life, period. Because life isn't made of like sequences, big events. Life is made of the mundane, of the commute that you take to work. Life is made of you at work. Life is made of how you treat the people that you live with. Life is made of how you treat your co-workers. Life is made of all those moments that you think are mundane. Yes, they are mundane because they're in the world, okay? They are your life. Everybody I know, it's living their lives like their actual lives are about to happen, and not like they're happening every single instant. Imagine a demon came to you and said, when you die, you will return over and over and over again to live life exactly how you lived it, with every single detail, pain and pleasure recurring in the same sequence. This life as you now live it and have lived it, you will have to live it once more and innumerable times more. Okay? You have Nietzsche to thank for this wonderful little story. He came up with it in the gay science, in the homosexual science, if you may. Nietzsche proposed that thought experiment in the gay science, and it led to a concept called the eternal return. It's symbolized by the Ouroboros sometimes. It's amazing. It's a wonderful thought experiment. A demon comes to you and he says, you will live your life exactly as you have lived it and exactly as you're living it over and 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 over again. No breaks, zero breaks, no breaks, nothing, none, nada. Will this be good or bad news for you? You might be thinking, oh shit, these are horrible fucking news. And it might be because of the tone that I'm presenting this thought experiment as, but let's be honest, I'm presenting this thought experiment with this tone because most people live shitty fucking lives. Full of stress and bills to pay and work or studying, or worse, being unemployed or being an alcoholic or being a drug addict. So take a moment to think about that. If you have to return eternally to your life forever and ever and ever the way that it has been now, would you be happy? Depending on your answer, what I'm about to tell you might be great news or just horrible news. A cornerstone of general relativity is that space and time are inseparable dimensions, known obviously as space-time, which means that physically, time can be interpreted as another spatial dimension if looked at from above. Okay, so in this universe we have three spatial dimensions. We have Y, or up and down, or vertical, okay? We have X, or horizontal, or left and right. And we have Z, okay? Here and there, it's how wide things are, basically. When we have all of those dimensions, we have a cube, right? And I dare you to imagine another spatial dimension. Spoilers, you can't. But there is also one more dimension that you cannot see, but you can almost feel it. The dimension of time. How things evolve, how things change. Causality, the order of one thing happens and then it affects this thing here. This is an incredible oversimplification, but time and space are the most basic building blocks of our universe. Now, what happened to the past? Is the past even real? And the answer is yes. The past is even more real than you would have even thought before. Right? Before understanding this, the past is something nebulous. It's just, where does it go? I don't know. It's just gone. But after understanding this, we see the past as the events that are happening in a different temporal coordinate that you don't have access to because you have already passed through it. So yes, the past is even more real than you probably even imagine. There is no disappearing past as soon as you left it behind. Your past gets sculpted into reality. Immovable, impossible to change it. The past is a reality that has already been sculpted, cannot be changed. We forget the past, and that's almost a gift. When we make mistakes, they get washed by the sea of the infinite and the forever coming new. But as you're moving through time, you're making a sculpture with the shape of your life, how you affected the things around you, how you made other people feel, what you touch and how you change the world. As big an effect or as little an effect as it might be, you're making a sculpture with the shape of your life. That's hardcore. Now, what happens when you die? It is all closed. Like a video that stopped recording, everything already is. If you could jump out of this universe into one with 5 or more dimensions, in theory, you could watch any moment of that life. The beginning and the end are all happening in the same plane, not at the same time, but in the same plane, at the same time in regards to your universe. The beginning and the end are all happening in the same plane. No moment is more real than the other, as you might be perceiving it to be right now. It's all one and the same. And it's not just me believing this. In 1955, after the Swiss-Italian engineer Michael Bezout died, Einstein, the architect of general relativity, sent a letter to Michael's son and sister. The last paragraph read, "Now he has also gone ahead of me in parting from this strange world." This means nothing. For us believing physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future has only the significance of a, however, tenacious illusion. So the present is the current state of a future past. So Memento Mori. Remember you will die, and when it's over, all of the moments that you lived through are going to be your only present. And there is no changing that. There is no changing the present that you already lived through. So remember you will die means remember, you are alive. Thanks for watching. I mean that. I mean it. Like, thanks for watching, especially if you stayed all the way to the end. Thank you so much for watching, because I make this with so much love and it takes so much time and effort and money that I'm losing by not working on other things that are actually profitable. That if you actually stayed and was curious and entertained, if you were curious and entertained, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I hope you have an amazing day, an amazing week, and I hope you actually take something away from this and not the panic attack part of realizing that your life as you're living it is going to be infinitely repeated by yourself, but the part of actually living in the moment and trying to make the best of it, okay? So I love you. In a non-sexual way. Unless you're hot.